So, my coworker, call him Jeff, is asexual, but his parents kept trying to get him a girlfriend. When he kept rejecting them, his parents eventually asked if he was gay. He decided to pretend he was, and said he was already seeing a coworker, and then asked me to pretend to be with him, even going so far as to offer money. I don't really know enough to care about my reputation and could think of worse ways to earn money, so I agreed. His parents wanted to meet me. The original plan was to meet his family and leave a very bad first impression, so he would have reason to not bring me around them. Well, I got there, and it turns out his family is about the most fucking awesome family I've ever met. I expected everybody to either tiptoe around the gay thing or be very overzealous about supporting it. Either way, I would overreact and make an ass out of myself. Turns out they treated me just like they would anybody else, so I couldn't do that. Then his twin sister, call her Jenny, comes out and decides to try to make me uncomfortable by sitting on my lap. I didn't mind, and asking questions that most would consider inappropriate. I kind of fell in love with her that night. Well, I ended up leaving a good impression, and was invited to dinner the next night to meet his other sister and her husband. That dinner went great as well, so I ended up saying fuck it. I'll come over whenever they invite me and just hope we don't slip up. Things went pretty well over the next few months. I got along with everybody and kept telling myself I'd ask Jenny out after we told them the truth. Well, Jeff ended up getting an apartment and moving out of his parents' house. He needed a roommate, and I volunteered. I wanted to move out of my parents' house anyway. One night, I get back from work to find a fucking candle-lit dinner waiting for me. Turns out he really was gay and had a crush on me and decided the best way to seduce me would be an elaborate scheme to trick me into moving in with him. Needless to say, I rejected him. And he was actually surprised when I did. So he calls his mom crying and said I cheated on him. His family hates me now, especially the Jenny. They won't believe a word out of my mouth because it's his word against mine. So now I live, signed a 1-year lease, and work with a guy who thinks he's in love with me. I did learn a valuable lesson though. If you're going to live a lie, record some kind of proof that it's a lie. Too long didn't read? Pretended to be gay to help a friend get parents off his back? Find out he wasn't pretending. Now I live with a gay guy who thinks he's in love with me. Update. Convinced Jenny to let me explain the situation from my point of view. She believes me, but she won't side against her twin even if he's wrong. Now my only hope is to convince him to tell the truth. Update 2. Just went through more drama in an hour than I have in the last 5 years. Basically, after Jenny left, she went home and confronted Jeff. He slept at their house. They invited me to come clear the air. I told them the same thing I told Jenny. Then Jeff told his side of the story, but spun it just enough to convince them that they didn't think we were pretending, and that I led him on. He also left in the part about me cheating. He said he caught me with a girl, and that's what sparked the whole mess. Since I can't disprove anything he said, they now believe that I'm a sack of shit that likes to lead on gay men for fun while I'm out sleeping around. I've only been with one girl. And to salt the wound a little bit more, Jenny called me a creep for letting her sit on my lap. Oh, grow up. Apparently it was only cute when I was gay. The only person who ever questioned Jeff's lying ass is his older sister, and she said the same thing Jenny did. I won't side against my family even if they are wrong. What? So I just lost what was basically my second family. Fuck them, they're crazy. And I'm either stuck living with Captain Dipshit or stuck with an apartment I can't afford alone. Update 3. So things just went from a bad situation to a disastrous situation. My boss just called me on my day off to tell me Jeff asked to be put on a different schedule than me. Apparently, Jeff told him I threatened to kick the shit out of him and I fucked up more royally than I'd ever fucked up before. I said I never said anything like that and to tell Jeff to prove it. And now I've got to go in later to discuss this situation, and he told me I was probably going to be suspended until further notice. That motherfucker attacked my job. This means war.